Welcome to Chrisology's Picks. In this video, I will be respectful and professional and fully give you my predictions on a full card under 20 minutes. And I'm going to be doing it every week. So make sure you elbow that like button and drop kick that subscribe and turn your notifications on every week before fight night. After the weigh-ins, I'll be dropping this video, giving you my prediction down to the round, down to the prop on each fighter. Um, all last year, I was capping fights and predicted fights at 70% or better, and now I'm bringing it to you on YouTube. So I'm looking forward to this. This is my first episode, and moving forward, it's going to be an every weekend thing. I can't wait. Let's get in it. All right. First fight of the night, Thomas Peterson versus Jamal Pogues. You know, a lot of people give shade to this fight, but I like this fight. You know, I was on Thomas Peterson early in the week, and then after watching tape and seeing that Jamal Pogues' weight really doesn't matter. He could be as fat as he wants on scales, you know. He's gonna be all right. Got endurance, you know. He looks good. He looks good. For heavyweights, it's you gotta respect it differently, right? It's a different world in heavyweight world. Um, I like Jamal Pogues to win in the round 3 or decision, and that line is available on FanDuel. I do like that line a lot, but I predict Jamal Pogues to win decision here. If he does win in the third round, I think it'll be more of a submission than a KO. I don't really think he has knockout power per se. I want to say he has pillow fists, but um, moving on. Next fight. Uh, Markel Mirados versus Landon Cuones. This fight, give me Landon Cuones by decision. I might sprinkle his sub prop if it stays at the line it is right now by fight time tomorrow. That might be one of my pre-fight live bets that I do on my show in my Discord. But that sub prop I like here. I could just see it happening. But I think it's going to be a standing, striking battle all the way to the judges' scorecards. And if that's the case, I kind of favor Keanu's in that. He'd probably mix in some grappling, you know, and make it more of a fight. I think he's got more tools in his shed than Mirados. All right. Moving on. Next fight. Sergio Starenko versus Liana Carolina. This fight actually got a hot take. I think Josiah can either round 1 submit her, which is not really a high take. That's kind of how she finishes most of her fights. But I lean to the KO. I think she can get a ground and pound KO easier. Maybe get the judge's merciful stop on Carolina. I mean, she looked kind of shit at the scales. So going into the fight, I think she might have some issues. She also doesn't like getting hit very hard. Watching her get hit anywhere in the stomach, she kind of just like freezes. So I think Georgia, she could get like some nice, you know, kicks to the body or teats up the middle. Maybe hurt her a little bit. Go in for a takedown. Maybe not get the sub. Get some ground and pound real quick. End it off. I like that. I like that spot. Give me Georgia by round 1 or round 2 KO. And that odds on FanDuel is plus 1,300 for KO, and it's like plus 2,700 for round 1, round 2 KO. So I like that a lot. Moving on. Next fight, Blake Builder versus Jong Yong Lee. It was really hard to find tape on Jong Yong Lee. I did watch a couple of his fights. Got pretty good striking. He's more of like remind me of like a male version of Kim Lee. like uh but I'm gonna go with Blake Builder here. I feel like it's gonna be a real test for Lee here. I think Builder's gonna be the more physical fighter, the more physical specimen. Uh, the athleticism and physical prowess is gonna come into play here. Um, I think he could definitely win a decision here. I'm gonna take Blake Builder by decision. All right, moving on. This fight, Themba Gorimbo versus Pete Rodriguez. I could understand a dog shot on Pete Rodriguez, but please don't. He's on a short notice. This fight is a setup fight. Themba Gorimbo is gonna win this fight all day, every day, because that's what the UFC wants. All right. He's got The Rock in his corner. How can he go wrong? Dwayne Johnson just there. Can you smell what I'm cooking? Anyway, my prediction is Themba Gorimbo by round 1 or round 2 submission. And moving on. Next fight, Charles Johnson versus Azat Maxim. This fight is going to be very bad and sloppy. And it's going to be gross. But so we got two fighters here fighting that aren't really how do you say it, UFC caliber, right? Maxim, he's definitely gonna get his first loss soon. I don't think it's gonna be to Johnson. So give me as that Maxim. I say by decision. Next fight, I'm pretty excited for this fight actually because I got a really good take on this one and a good line too. Um, Molly McCann versus Deanna Bilbita. Poor little pretty thing. She's beautiful, absolutely stunning, but she is gonna get absolutely manhandled by Molly Meatball McCann. I predict round 1 or round 2 KO by Molly McCann. Lately she's been practicing submissions and doing grappling tournaments, and she's not been doing very well at them, but I could see a world where she comes out here and wants to prove that she's learned something or has done something of grappling caliber and tries to submit Diana Bobita and maybe gets it. So her inside of distance prop is like plus 340. I'm max betting that. Max betting that. That's my first max bet of this card, and I love that bet. And I also will sprinkle her KO and submission props because they are both huge money, which doesn't make sense. Doesn't at all in this spot. So yeah, this is the first time I've ever max bet a women's MMA fight, and I think it's the right side. Molly Meatball McCann inside the distance. Next fight, moving on. Gilbert Arena versus Charles Ratke. This fight's going to be pretty exciting. I mean, I know the Chuck Buffalo hasn't been inciting against Blood Diamond, right, in his last fight out, but he got the win. It was very sloppy and very snooze fest, right? But it's not going to happen here. This fight is going to be pushing the pace. Gilbert Arena is going to be pushing the pace. It's going to be in his face, trying to melt him. And I think he gets it done. I'm going to go with Gilbert Arena by round 2, round 3 KO. And the bad boy moving on. I think Charles Chuck Buffalo gets his first L in the UFC. Next fight. This is going to be a terrible fight. Very bad. Watch tape on this guy. Alishab Krasev versus Makhmud Muradov. The tape don't lie, right? I watched tape on this guy. He's got really good grappling, really good transitions, but his striking is very bad. Very bad. No striking defense. None. It's null and void. He's like a brick wall waiting to just take you down. He takes it all on the chin. Good thing he's got a beard. He can absorb some of that damage, right? So Murdov, I like his striking. He's got decent striking. His striking defense is pretty good. I don't see a world where Krzev even tries to strike with him. I think he's gonna go for takedowns right away. I don't know what kind of shape Krzev's in. Like I saw him on the scales, but it's like he's got like that phony body, right? He's got like muscle fat phony body, right? I don't know what his cardio is going to be like in this fight. I don't know. Got jet lag. I don't know how long he's preparing. There's a lot of question marks in this fight, and the line doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And watching Murdov, he's got some decent takedown defense. It's not like he doesn't have takedown defense. It's more so he doesn't rely on technique. He more so relies on physical strength and athleticism. So he's not really trying to use his grappling knowledge against a grappler. And I think that might pay dividends in the first round for Kazyrev. But I feel like as the rounds go on, Murdov's going to take over. And he's going to be able to keep the fight standing. And he's either going to get a late third round finish or win a decision. So my pick is Murdov by round 3 finish or decision. Next up, we got Viviane Araújo versus Natalia Silva. This is like the public's crush of the century. Natalia Silva, it's understandable. She's coming to the UFC, getting finishes and doing it with style and looking good while doing it, right? Viviane Araújo, she is on a downward decline. She's on her way out. Probably the UFC. This probably be one of her last series of fights on her contract. I don't see a world where she wins this fight. I do see a world where this fight could go to the judges. Yeah. Watch the tape. I feel like Silva might have a little difficulty with, knocking Araújo out or doing any kind of KO against her, but I feel like the submission might be there. So I'm going to take Silva by submission. Next fight. I hate this fight. Randy Brown versus Muslim Salikov. Earlier in the week, I was leaning Salikov. I thought maybe he could just grapple and just hold Randy Brown down. Then I saw him on the scales, and Randy Brown's in tip-top shape. Salikov's kind of like comes in average like he usually does. No worries there. But the height, Randy Brown is so much taller than Salikov. So how is he going to hold Randy Brown down or even get him down? It's hard for shorter guys to get really, really tall guys down on the ground, especially lanky ones like Randy Brown. Like he has like really long legs. But he can keep a leg on the ground all the time while the guy's trying to take him down, double leg. I could see if Salikov could like get him up against the cage and then maybe pull the legs out and do a double leg drop, kind of get him on the ground that way, then maybe. But I think Randy Brown's going to keep fighting, backing up. He's going to keep throwing jabs, kicks, and keeping him away. Fight from the outside. I think Randy Brown coasts to a decision here. Again, the only way I see Salikov winning is if he hits like a rounding fancy spin kick or a roundhouse to the body, or a weird flying elbow he's landed before. But that's about it. By a fancy highlight KO, that's the only way I see it. And I think Randy Brown's pretty durable. I don't think he's that fragile. So give me Randy Brown by decision. Next up, we got, this is my main event right here. We got Renato Moicano versus Drew Dober. I really like this spot for Drew. I think this is a bounce back spot for him as well. after getting knocked out brutally by Matt Frivola. Um, I I was on Matt Frivola that night by KO too, so like it was great. Uh, but I'm on Drew Dober here, KO, round one or round two. Moicano, some key facts for him that you want to know is he just had some knee surgery done. He was laid off for a while because of that. He's coming back now. This is his first fight after that. Um, walking around, he's gonna in order to win this fight, he has to grapple. And grappling's kind of hard when you have some knee surgery problems and or knee problems at all. I mean, look at Thiago Santos. He completely eliminated grappling out of his game after his double knee surgery. He's gone. Toast. Different kind of fighter, right? So I don't think Moicano Salb is live here. If Moicano wins this fight, it's probably a sloppy split decision. But I don't even think he makes it there. I think Drew Dober knocks him out. He's been knocked out before in round one and round two, three times to be exact. I really think Drew Dober has that one stop power and just touches him on the chin, he's gone. And Drew Dober's gonna bring the pressure. He's gonna come out hot, round one, round two. So I think that's what happens. Give me Drew Dober, KO, round one and round two. Next up, main event. Roman Dolidze versus Nasruddin Imavov. I didn't really have to watch much tape on this fight. I did watch a couple of Roman Dolidze's fights just to kind of get a feel for his fighting style, but we've seen them both fight before. Come on. I was on Imavov against Chris Curtis. I felt like he was piecing up Chris Curtis really well. I think he's going to do the same kind of game plan here against Dolidze. Dolidze does not fight well, always having to chase his prey. And I feel like Chris Curtis kind of had the same problem against Imavov where he had to keep coming after him. And it's the same equation here for me. I'm going to go Imavov by decision. If he gets a finish, it'll be a KO in like the later rounds, but I highly doubt he's going to knock out Dolidze. Dolidze is pretty durable. So I'm going to go Imavov decision, and most main events usually do go to decision anyway. But that's it. That's the full card. Under 20 minutes. It's only been 17 minutes, so let me get you out of here. I know everybody got shit to do. So thanks for watching. Hit that like button and drop kick that subscribe. We'll be putting up a video every week, so make sure you turn notifications on. And look forward to doing more content for you. Thanks. Have a great day.